I completely subscribe to the cliche of talent is our best asset. And why do I say that? We're at the war for talent. We've talked about that for the last 10 years. Well, guess what? Talent is winning. Every single one of our employees will receive a call from a competitor. So for me, it's not only about attracting the talent, it's about retaining the talent. And I think, as I talked about, it's our talent is at a premium, and we need to recognize that. So let's create an environment where when our own talent receives that call, they are not going to respond because they feel respected, because they feel engaged and included. And for me, what I feel the weight is all about is how do I keep my talent engaged? How I keep my talent feeling respected. And I think that thread of inclusion is what we need to instill in everyone. And I do believe it's about time for us to train everyone at every level about their implicit biases. Explicit biases, we all know them, and we're better than that.
Teri, how does this all play out in the boardroom?
Well, there's been many studies that show that financial performance and employee retention and strengthening culture start in the boardroom. And the boardroom needs to also set the example, walk the talk. So there needs to be diversity and inclusion in the boardroom setting. It's hard to have inclusion if you don't have diversity of thought and opinions. When there's not diversity and inclusion in the room, then decisions get made by homogeneous groups, and they're overconfident in their decision making because they haven't had either the pushback, the questioning, or the now why, and why wouldn't we think about this? And the way that the board, in my opinion, needs to hold people accountable is to set those metrics. Sometimes the metrics may be more qualitative than quantitative. I think a metric that says everyone went through conscious bias training, that's not a good metric because that is simply an activity. It's a task. It's not showing that the organization is embracing or moving, evolving in the right way. But many times boards don't understand that they have a responsibility for the culture of the organization, I think.
I think scorecards are really important, but I will tell you that I think the more important thing is to hear stories. One of our HR leads in front of a big group a week ago talked about growing up as a Chinese homosexual. And he talked about his gayness being secondary to the fact that he was Chinese and how much he hated being Chinese and how he told his parents that. Things that none of us sitting around the room would have understood or appreciated. And I think part of our job in this is not to just measure how many of these do we have in these categories, but do we really understand what are the drivers that motivate individual people, the fears that they have, what do they bring to work, and what are they needing, what are they seeking when they come to work every day? And I think that's the real driver for a lot of this, even more than the numbers sometimes.